Physical shakes can't withstand. Printed 5 steps back in fright. Shine on shines day and night. Shine on print, game is strong. T-shirts, skirts, it won't be long. Mugs and more, they craft so bold. Their designs break the mold. Shine on reigns supreme in the world of printed dreams. Printful, printify, taking the fall. Shine on conquers all. Quality unmatched in the scene. Their prints always come out clean. Trust and shine on, feel the rush. Others turn to dust. Fast shipping, no delays. Shine on blazes other ways. Reliability in every order. Shine on sets the border. Customization, what they do. Unique designs just for you. Printful wishes could compete. Shine on can't be beat.
In the digital light we find our way. Paju teaching us what to say. When ShineOn's magic we hit the stores. Success is closer evermore. Print on demand in every hand. Merchants thriving across the land. Paju guides us through the night. In this game we're winning the fight. Paju, learn and grow. Bright ideas start to show. Shine on sparkles, we succeed. In this world we plant the seed. Pixels dancing in the breeze. Building dreams like endless seas. Every click leads to a chance. That's Paju inside the dance. Ritual sounds and sunlight beams. Together we chase our dreams. E-commerce future bright as gold. With Paju our tales unfold. Paju, learn and grow. Bright ideas start to show. Shine on sparkles, we succeed. In this world we plant the seed.
It is a nice tune. Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to Coffee with ShineOn. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me okay, because last time I had some audio problems. All good? Good with the audio? Perfect. Where's everyone tuning in from? I'm in Costa Rica right now, and our host is in India. So we are very far away from each other. All right. Seems like everything is going according to plan. We have a very exciting guest joining us today. This is our second interview. So let me know in the comments if you know who this guest is, if you met Ludwig, if you've seen our previous interview, which was phenomenal. I think we were able to provide tremendous value to all of our viewers. So I'm very excited to get into that again today. So let's get started right now. What's working in POD right now? Let's get into it. As always, we like to start with some of our swag winners over here. So let's see who we have on this week. First and foremost, Kent Weiss. And he says, "Hi, everyone. I am new to the community and just wanted to introduce myself. I look forward to interacting and learning from all of you. I am new to POD and I am not tech savvy, but I am a hard worker and a lifelong learner. With that said, I look forward to working together to grow our business. Best of luck to you, Kent. Please stay tuned to your DMs to get your swag today." And we have Marina Heartfire. I wonder if that's actually your last name because it's very cool. And she says, "Hey everyone, I am very excited to join you. I'm an artist and mom who volunteered with children's programs in Morocco and Turkey for the last 8 years. Wow. My mom suddenly passed, and now I'm back in Western Washington, being a caregiver for my dad at home. So, very sorry to hear that, Marina." And she says, "I feel blessed to have been led to ShineOn and to this great community. I have a lot to learn and happy to meet you here, Marina." So we are also very excited to have you on. I really love your story and looking forward to seeing you around here. And here's to your success, Marina. Remember, if you want to get some free swag, just hop on to our Facebook page, maybe our circle community, just post maybe a screenshot of your first sale. It could just be a commentary of how you've been doing in the POD space. What are you struggling with? What are you seeing success with? Anything, just let us know, interact with our community, and you might qualify to win some free swag over here. All right, so let's get into the latest news over here at ShineOn. Remember, we have the Mother's Day shipping deadlines coming up, so just be careful about this. We have our standard shipping deadline, which is on May 5th. We have our expedited shipping deadline on May 7th. International shipping deadline is 5 days away on April the 30th. And our STP products, we have that deadline that is close approaching on April 28th. So those are, our blankets, tumblers, and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. That's very important. In my experience, you can keep selling even a few days after the deadlines if you are transparent with your customers, because a lot of customers just leave the shopping to the very last minute. And even if you're telling them that they might not get the product by Mother's Day, they can still purchase. So I've seen this happen time and time again. So don't feel like you need to, just cancel everything you're doing, pause everything you're doing when the deadlines come up, but just make sure to communicate properly with your customers. All right. And coming up, we have part 2 of Joe Roberts' PODU walkthrough available now. So you don't want to miss this. Niche down, level up with Joe Robert. And this is available for all tiered merchants. So Joe is actually one of our favorite POD influencers. I really like his style. He's very transparent with his viewers. So I am 100% sure that there is a ton of value in this walkthrough. So don't miss it. You always want to keep learning. You want to gather different perspectives from different POD sellers. So you don't want to miss this one. Make sure to look it up. Also, we have a new gift wrap upsell for leather journal. So how cool is this? So when you order, your leather journal will be gift wrapped, just like you're seeing in this image, and it's gonna come even with a red ribbon on one of the corners. This is one of the easiest ways to increase your AOVs because you don't have to do any additional work. You just have to enable this, and especially when we have holidays coming up like Mother's Day and stuff like that, just having an option like this to increase your AOV is an absolute no-brainer. Remember, even especially when you're dealing with ads, guys, even if you're able to increase your AOV by $2, $3, $5, $10, it will do wonders to your cost per purchase and will make your testing process and scaling much easier, so you can afford a higher CPP. All right, very excited about this. And just remember, keep an eye on all of our communication channels or Facebook groups, but because we're always releasing new surprises leading up to Mother's Day. So just keep an eye on your inbox. So make sure you don't miss a thing. Also, these are exactly like I just mentioned, our two main channels where you will receive updates. Remember, Facebook groups and our announcements and changelog in PodU. If you are not in PodU, what are you doing? It is 100% free to sign up. So if you're not inside our community yet, I highly advise you to do so. All right, here we go. Let me know if you have your coffee in hand. Really excited to get into this. I have my coffee over here, as always, with a little bit of milk. This coffee is from Poas Volcano here in Costa Rica. All right, so let's get into this. Digital Marketers Toast. Is everyone ready? Cup of coffee in your hand. Let's get into it. Raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, or flasks, and join me now for the Digital Marketers Toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheaper CPMs, and lower CACs. To higher CTRs, much higher CVRs, to enabled ad accounts and big bank accounts, to upsells, downsells, and cross sells, to winning products and repeat sales, to the thing that everybody knows, the riches are in the niches, but also in your email flows. All right, ready? Drink up. Cheers to everyone watching. Good cup of coffee over there, and let's get into this. All right, I'm gonna bring in our special guest right about now. Oh, I see Sophie. Sophie says beer for me this Friday night over here. All right, so that's also acceptable. One nice pint of beer over there for Sophie. Cheers. All right, let's bring into our guest over here at the stage. Welcome, Rutvik.
Hello.
How's it going, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Very excited to have you on again. I think our last interview was fantastic. I mean, I see we
Yeah.
have a lot of new viewers over here, so I'm guessing there's most of our viewers here don't know who you are and they don't know your story. So, I mean, one of my goals today is just to kind of refresh everyone on who is Rutvik, how Rutvik got started, and then we can start, just diving into everything that our sellers always want to know. Rutvik is going to answer questions about Facebook ads, about testing products, about just in general managing a print on demand business because he's had such a great run. Rutvik's story is one of my favorites. It's full of, grit, resilience, hard work. So everything that excites us here at ShineOn. So Rutvik, just to get started, like I said, let's just give our viewers a refresher on who you are and how you started.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for your kind words. It means a lot. Um, Yeah, like I'm just like you guys. I don't have like four hands and four eyes. I'm just like you guys. But I started my journey in 2019, and I was doing drop shipping. Uh, I did drop shipping for a while, like for a long time. I think till 2021, and I found ShineOn in 2021. Yeah, so at that time I was dealing with all kind of drop shipping issues like long shipping times, product quality, blah blah blah. You know it. Uh, but when I found ShineOn and when I found the platform, the ShineOn platform, because there was one big problem here in India, like the Asian countries, like the payment gateways. But the ShineOn had that platform. So I started with the platform, started testing a lot of phrases, designs. Like I was completely new to POD. I I was doing it for the first time. Just as scared. Just I didn't had money, you know. So yeah, I was testing waters. I tried everything. Etsy. I tried Google ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, even Pinterest ads. So I wasn't getting any success. My FC account got disabled, and you know I was about to give up. But I thought, every time I was about to give up, I thought, let's give it one more chance. So that's how I was continuing my work with ShineOn, and recently, like I found my first success in 2022 in Valentine's. um, then then I tried and tried and tried. I tested a lot of products, a lot of phrases, a lot of designs, and lost a lot of money, gained a lot of sales, everything, and finally it paid out in last Q4. So last Q4 I did $1.6 million total revenue, out of which it was like almost $750,000 was China. So that was a big, like all my sacrifices, like they paid off last Q4. The 3 years I worked for, they all paid. Like, and I thank you, ShineOn, for that opportunity that let me scale with the peace of mind. So yeah, that's that's about me.
Awesome. Great, Rubik. That's such an amazing story. I really wanted to just give people a refresher because I'm sure not everyone knows your story. And guys, just pay attention. I mean, Rubik has been just trying and trying and trying for years, years. I mean, he's faced on our last interview, we went into more specifics on his story. He's faced so many obstacles that I'm sure a lot of sellers that are watching this can relate to. I mean, he's had a bunch of ad accounts. Well, I don't know if a bunch, but a few ad accounts banned. He's been, banned from Etsy, from payment processors, and that's why I really like his story because I can really relate to it. I've also been banned from a bunch of places because, whether it be payment platforms or sales channels, when you're starting out and you have a new account of anything, they are hyper vigilant of what you do. So they have like the ban hammer ready to hit you with it. So, I mean, the main takeaway from his story is that you need to keep trying. You need to be resilient. I mean, this is not print on demand is not an overnight success story for anyone. So it's very easy. When you come in here and you see Rutvik screenshots, you're gonna say like, "Oh, I can't believe this. I mean, how could he achieve this, so easily just because you're just seeing the end goal, but what you're not seeing is years and years and years of trial and error behind the scenes. So this is why, your story is one of my favorite ones. Mohammed here says, Rutvik is famous. We all know him. Handsome young man. Awesome. Yeah. Perfect. So that is Rutvik's story. And what amazes me is that even past Q4, Rutvik is still seeing success because it's very common. One thing that I I've seen, time and time again is that some sellers they see success. I mean, for one time, maybe they find one winning product and they kind of, forget about it, or maybe they struggle to find more success along the way and they kind of die down over the months. But one of the main reasons I wanted to have Rubik on again is because he managed to take what worked in Q4 and convert that into a real business that's working, even if you're not, just relying on Black Friday and Q4 sales. So really excited to start asking you some more specific questions over here.
Sure, man.
So here's one of the questions I wanted to start out with, Ludwig. Since we last spoke, what has changed in your opinion in the print on demand world? I mean, what is working now that maybe was not working, 5 to 6 months before?
Okay. Um, yeah. Right now, uh, the market has changed a little bit. I'll tell you. Like before, like last year, when you were testing ads and you were testing products, uh, you would see uh, the performance is heavily based on the type of creatives uh, and the type of creatives that you are using, that was heavily influencing the performance. But currently, as of today, yes, creatives they do matter, but you have to focus so much on your upsell funnel. That is so important right now at this moment. I don't know why, but like currently the advertising platforms like Facebook and TikTok, they are, I don't know why if it's happening with me, but they are not that much stable at this moment. So to beat that, you have to not rely on just one marketing channel. You have to uh, you have to expand your funnel. So how you can expand your funnel is like, don't just rely on Facebook. Like what I have done different this year is like, I found little success on like one of my product this year in Valentine's Day. Okay, so I found that one product. What I did now is like, I saw an increase in cost per acquisition this year as compared to last year for the same type of creative. So you have to add,
Okay.
you have to test a lot of creatives. Plus, you have to uh, introduce new marketing channels. Like for example, I introduced Amazon this
Okay.
year, and because the if you just rely on Facebook, let's say your cost per acquisition is 50 like $45, you want $45 cost per acquisition to be profitable. But someday you are not getting $45, you're getting $50, you're getting $60. So what happens is like the traffic from Facebook goes to Amazon as well. They search your brand there, and if they search your brand and you're not there, then it's a problem. So I found that that was the thing that majorly changed in my business ecosystem right now. So I'm expanding my marketing channels and testing better creatives, researching better, like creatives are everything. Like design is okay. So first of all, when you're testing, the product matters, but after a while you have to introduce a lot of creatives. You can't scale with just one two creative. You have to add a good army of creatives to scale big massively. So yeah, these two things I think they have major changes this year.
Perfect. That's great insight, Ludwig. So again, pay attention. Upsells, just like we just mentioned, the gift wrap upsells, stuff like that, it is really going to help you increase your AOV and deal with sudden changes, in the algorithm that might result in a higher cost per purchase. So like Ludwig is mentioning, he is noticing an increase in cost per purchase, and he is balancing that by working on his upsell funnel to make sure he can get as much as he possibly can from every single person. Because I mean, let's say you're paying $50 to acquire a customer. I mean, it's up to you if you get $60, just by selling the message cards, or if you try and get $80 by selling the message card plus the luxury box plus this and that and whatever upsells you can get your hands on. So really valuable advice over there. And second, omni-channel marketing, which is pretty much was what Rutvik was referring to. And this is crucial, especially if you want to have a long-term business. And it's obvious that Rutvik is aiming for that. So that is why he does Facebook ads, he does TikTok, and now he's starting out on Amazon. I do want to, kind of preface something over here. Rutvik is at a stage where he is directly benefiting from expanding his marketing channels. But that does not mean if you're an absolute beginner, it does not mean that you just want to on day one just sign up for Amazon, start doing Facebook ads, start doing TikTok. You're gonna go crazy if you do that. Okay,
Yeah,
so my recommendation, and I like to hear your opinion on this, but if you're just starting out, it is best if you have no sales at all to pick one channel and stick to it. Once you start seeing some success, then you can expand your arsenal.
100%, 100%.
Perfect. Okay, Ludwig. So here's following up on the different perspective that beginners have. I wanted to ask you. Let's say you lost everything today. Let's say your pixel data was erased. Let's say your products vanished from your store. I'm just gonna work off of the assumption that let's say that you have Stripe going on. Okay, Stripe says, okay, I want to work with you, so you don't have to deal with all that mess. But if you lost your pixel data, your products, how would you start again to get that first sale? I mean, remember you have no pixel data, you have no products. How would you organize, for example, a 7-day plan on your mind to get from zero to getting sales?
Okay, that's really, really good question. Yeah, if that happens, like I'll keep it really, really short and to the point. If that happens, what I'll do is like I will be focusing not on the website design part, how I'm gonna make it more beautiful and blah blah blah. No, I will not focus there because that is not gonna bring me sales. So what's gonna bring me sales is the products. So first of all, I'm gonna invest little bit of money into product research tools like Minea, AdsPy,
Yeah.
TP Ads. You can use anything, any one of these. I like Minea personally because you can see Facebook ads and you can do different like there are some really good things you can do with Minea. So the first investment will be the Minea subscription. I will get that and I will research my, let's say all my knowledge went oof, all the data, all my ads. Uh, there's nothing in my mind. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start my research. What has worked in the past for last 2 years at this particular time? I'm gonna research on that. I'm gonna see what has worked in Q4 and I'm gonna correlate it. Like let's say Q4, I found one product that was in the daughter's niche in Q4, and I found that okay, this is the Mother's Day time, and the daughter niche trends in Mother's Day, and I found some products last year that were trending in Mother's Day time for daughter niche. So I have Q4 winners of daughter niche, I have Mother's Day winner for daughter niche, and now I know okay, so there is light there. I can go. I'm not in a dark tunnel, so there is light, there is proof, there is data uh, of competitors that okay, this niche works, the wife niche works at this particular time, so I'm gonna stick to that niche and not divert my attention to other niches. Okay, so I'm gonna start testing phrases in that niche, maybe wife niche, daughter niche, whatever has worked at this particular time, and I'm gonna stick to it because the most common mistake I see people doing in ecom is they don't spend enough time in testing. They just do, they just create product, they create hundreds of products, but they don't test them. They just test two or three of them. So there's, and it's not like you have to create a perfect landing page, you have to create perfect upsell funnel. No, you just have to get that potential winning product and then optimize. So I'm gonna focus everything on getting that first, that first product in those niches that has worked in the past. So exactly that's how I'm gonna work. um, if I have no pixel data, doesn't matter, because the algorithms are really smart right now. Trust me, when I scaled last Q4, I was using a fresh pixel and it was working. So pixel doesn't mean that much, personal opinion, because the buying intent is so high right now in Mother's Day, let's say Mother's Day. So one more thing, if I lost everything, I'll see what is the next opportunity. So Mother's Day is the next big opportunity. There is buying intent, supply and demand. So I'm gonna focus my attention there. Daughter niche, wife niche, and Mother's Day. I'm gonna combine them. Boom, you get your first sale, and you start scaling from there.
Perfect. That's a great answer, Ludwig. I mean, and I see we have some questions on here. Let me just show this regarding the tool. No, it's called Minea. So
Minea,
you're missing, yeah. Here she like this.
Minea.
Here
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
mechanical word. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, I've also used it. It's pretty cool. It is. I mean, it obviously costs money, but I mean, just pay attention to how much Ludwig values that product research, and I completely agree with him. I mean, it gives you such a significant advantage to be able to go into an ad spy platform and see what's working. Because if you don't do that, you're kind of aiming at at space. You don't have like a target, and you don't have a framework of what works. So if you just try to test what you think works in your mind, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle. And the reason we like this platform so much is because I mean you can see the crumbs of success that some products leave. So there's if you see something that has 5,000 likes on Facebook, that's a print on demand product, you know that something about that product is making customers engage and most likely purchase. So that data is worth its weight in gold. And I also want to highlight one other thing that you should really pay attention to that Rudvik said, is that he's focusing on the most important tasks. So remember, he said, don't spend all day trying to make your landing page beautiful. Okay, that's very important. Spend most of your time doing research and executing on that research, meaning creating products and testing them with ads. If you create 100 products and you never test them, you're obviously not gonna do anything. So I think that's very valuable advice. I mean,
No,
it is a necessity to be just an action taker when talking about print on demand. And I see people struggle with this, Ludwig, every day, that when they're trying to build a store or something, they spend 3 weeks thinking about the name and the logo, and they overthink everything. And it's better to just get out there and test and test and test. And your first ad will probably not be good. That's perfectly fine. uh, you just need to keep getting your reps in, as I like to say. You need to keep iterating. You need to keep, testing what is working, what is not working, and just pay attention to the data you're getting.
yeah,
Perfect. All right. So, Ludwig, I also something I found very interesting is that some beginners get confused by. You mentioned other niches other than to my mom over here. You just said that you've seen and you found that sometimes other niches trend in Mother's Day, because there's, I mean, daughters obviously can be mothers, wives can be mothers, soulmates can be mothers. So it's not limited to my mom. So actually, what I wanted to ask, have you ever had success with a to my mom, for example,
yeah,
product that's
yeah.
directly, yes?
Yep, yep. I had
Okay.
I had success with my mom product, but the thing with the mom niche is like the average order value. I don't like it that much compared to some other niche. Like for example, if you see ShineOn's data, right now they send out the emails, right? um, what's working, what's not working, how much it is working, the pie charts. You can see the daughter niche always is in the top. There's a reason for that. The
There
reason
is a
is
reason for
high
that.
average. Yeah, the reason is high average order value. People like I get sometimes I get like $400 worth of orders for daughter products. So because like they buy for like $3, $4, right? So I like the average order value, and I want to talk about the upsells in a while. Why we choose, like I want to talk about some niches along with the mom niche. But to answer your question, yeah, I had some success with mom niche, but not as big as if like the daughter niche or wife niche.
Perfect. That is very interesting. So, like Ludwig mentioned, some niches are simply tied to higher order values. So it's very important to kind of have that in mind. And yes, actually, I just wanted to take advantage that we are talking about this right now and show you this slide we have over here. So, like we just started talking about, we have, there's so many options you can tackle. You know, every niche has its kind of its pros and cons. But like, I mean, you can get specific, you can go broad. There's really no limit to your targeting. Is there anything you would like to add over here about these popular niches we have over here, Rudvik?
Yeah, I think this part right here is the most important part that will decide uh, how much you can how much success you will get this Mother's Day. The reason why I chose these four niches is because the upsell potential. I'll start with son to mom niche first. This is one of the biggest niche for Mother's Day. I'll tell you why. You buy a gift for mom, you can upsell them a gift for wife. You can upsell them a gift for let's say mother-in-law, right? You can upsell them a gift for grandma, right? So the upsell potential is huge for son to mom, this niche. Um, the second one is dad to daughter. This is my favorite niche because dad to daughter, dad can have multiple daughters, right? So he can buy like two or three of your products. So there's high average order value there, like in that niche, like no upsell needed. They can buy multiple of these for daughters. That is the hero product. You're the main product, right? That's the main product. Then you can upsell them for wife, you can upsell them for mom, right? So there's that upsell potential right there. That's how you can get 3-digit AOVs upselling. And this niche is so powerful. Mother-in-law to daughter-in-law. So this is another good niche. Like they can buy multiples here as well, right? So I'm gonna explain why I didn't choose mom to daughter here. If we
Okay.
did mom to daughter, we will not be able to upsell to wife. So that's the reason I chose dad to daughter, because we can upsell to wife as well for Mother's Day. So daughter, wife, and mom. There are three upsells there. Mother-in-law to daughter-in-law, yeah, you can buy multiple for daughter-in-laws. You can upsell them for daughters, right? Daughter-in-law and daughters. So there's upsell potential in there. And to new moms, new moms is a really powerful niche at this time, because a mom can buy a gift for her daughter who is going to be a new mom. A husband can buy for his wife who is going to be a new mom. Anyone can buy for a new mom. So the market is huge. If you find something in new mom niche, you're gonna absolutely crush it. A new mom can be a daughter as well, right? So you can mix match new mom niche with all these the dad to daughter niche and mother-in-law to daughter-in-law niche. You can mix it with these two niches, right? For example, dad giving gift to a daughter who is going to be a new mom, right? So you can mix that. So that's why I think these four niches, they have the most potential, and you should focus. Like right now is the perfect time to start testing for Mother's Day. If you are not doing it, do it right now and stick to these four niches. You're gonna not regret it. Please.
Perfect, Ludwig. That's so. I mean, you just provided so much value, I think, for our viewers, because I think a lot of sellers, they don't think about this in the way that you've just laid it out. I mean, in terms of upsell potential. So just pay attention to what Ludwig is saying here. He's not only thinking about the actual product that is being sold, but he's thinking of all of the other relationships that stem from this niche that can also bring in sales. Like we just went over a few minutes ago. I mean, if the cost per purchase is going up on Facebook, you need to think about this the way Rudvik is laying it out. I mean, imagine if you can get a $400 EOV, that's pretty crazy. I mean, you can spend, $150 on that purchase and still be very profitable. So that's
Yeah.
definitely kind of the way to go over here, I would say. And also it really, seems interesting to me that you have it like so mapped out, probably because of all the data you've gathered from testing. And one thing, Ludwig, what's your preferred way of presenting these upsells in your Shopify store? What's kind of like your go-to, system to present these upsells? Do you use a particular app, or do you like to do it in-house, or how do you usually present these upsells to customers?
Hmm. Um, so I have a bunch of upsells for my products. The first upsell is obviously a gift wrap upsell. That is, I think if you are not using it, you are leaving money on the table. I upsell that on my product page. On my product page,
Okay.
I just have my gift wrap upsell and nothing else. The product and the gift wrap upsell, because I think adding more upsells will cause some friction in the funnel. So just
Okay.
have a gift wrap upsell on your product page. You can use Candy Rack app. I am using Candy Rack app, Candy Rack for product page upsell. So I think it
Candy,
looks
like
clean.
how is that spelled?
Candy
Because we're gonna
Rack,
get all right. Candy, like candy?
Candy Rack, yeah, Candy Rack
Okay,
upsell.
okay, okay. Perfect. So that's how it's spelled for anyone that's wondering. Okay, so you
Yeah,
use that for product page upsells.
exactly. Then once a customer hits add to cart button, a slider cart opens, and there I upsell them with shipping protection, the shipping protection
Okay.
button, toggle button. Uh, Along with that, you have to upsell them with one more product, one or two products. So if it's a Mother's Day, if it's, let's say, dad to daughter niche, so
Okay.
I'm gonna upsell them wife to my wife product. Get this for your wife for Mother's Day, right? So, for that cart upsell, I'm gonna use an app called Upcart. So you can use Upcart. You can use Candy Rack. Sorry, not Candy Rack. There's Monster Cart. Yeah, Monster Cart. You can even use Monster Cart for that. It's a really good app. Um, you can even upsell gift wrap there as well to remind them to take the gift wrap if they haven't added it from the product page. Uh, so there's the cart upsell. Then at then I don't upsell them. Yeah, I upsell them at the shipping. So you can upsell them with priority shipping. You can make money there. Some people get that. Get that upsell. You can upsell them with shipping. Have like three shipping profiles. You can say 2 years guarantee plus priority shipping and charge them $5 extra, right? Once they place the order, you can upsell them as at like post purchase. At post purchase for dad to daughter niche, you can upsell them again for wife if they haven't bought it before, with a little discount this time, right? You can give a little discount for to my wife product. You can upsell them for your mom. Get this for your mom product at the upsell. Have like 2 to 3 post purchase upsells. Then you can have one thank you page upsell. like you can upsell them any other product, like let's say skip the queue, priority customer support for $5, like that, to get your average order value up. um, I have tested tipping option, but it wasn't working for me, so you can split test it
Tipping.
to see
Yeah.
up your average order value. Yeah, and for the post purchase upsell, you can use app called one click upsell. So that's my
You
favorite.
used one click upsell. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, so as you can see, guys, Rutvik is, you know, trying to present upsells at every stage of the buying process. I mean, and clearly that is, you know, giving results to him. So just to kind of summarize for everyone that's watching, the first one is named Candy Rack. I listed it down here in the comments. For the add to cart upsells, you mentioned two options. You mentioned Upcart, right?
Yeah.
Upcart, and you also mentioned Monster Cart. Remember, we have in Podio, we have, if you've never used these before, we have some discounts for some of these. I'm pretty sure we have one for Monster Cart. And for the post-purchase upsells, you use one-click upsell. Okay, so I think this is very valuable because, I mean, we've had a lot of interviews with merchants, but we don't often, dive deep into the upsell process. And guys, really try to start learning about this because as CPMs go up, as your cost per purchase goes up, this is gonna save you. So I really like this kind of small upsell working session we had over here. Perfect. I also
Yeah.
want to show you one more slide to see what you thought about it regarding our top selling products, because a lot of sellers always struggle. And when choosing it, this is obviously focused, you know, uh, into message cards most than anything else. And sometimes I see sellers struggle. Like we have a lot of pendants available for the message cards, and people don't know what to do, don't know what to use. But these are some of our top selling products. What would you say is your favorite out of these ones, Ludwig?
uh, I really love the forever love necklace. I really love it.
It's a classic.
Yeah. Yeah. Classic.
Is that the one you're seeing the most success with recently?
Yep, the Forever Love necklace is really, really my favorite one. And the rose box they just launched right now, that is really cool. Like I'm gonna test with this rose box.
Yeah, that one
So,
is kind
yeah,
of brand new, but I remember seeing, viral ads a couple of months ago. I don't know if you ever saw some of these ones with Mania, but I did see this rose box one or two times, and they were, with ads that had, you know 20,000 likes or something like that. So there is definitely potential over there. Don't miss it if you haven't tested it right now. Perfect. Right. So now I wanted to get into one sales screenshot that Ludwig shared with us. I think it's so unique because it's not a Q4 screenshot number, first of all, and second, Mother's Day is not even over yet.
yeah,
We still have quite a few days ahead of us, and as Ludwig just told you, remember he said it's still a great time to test products, even if we're 4 or 5 days away from the cutoff. I mean, because you can, like you said, uh, customers' purchasing intent is as high as it would ever be. So even if you don't have like a month ahead of you to just test products and everything, you want to capitalize on these last few days. I mean, if you've never gotten your first sale, maybe this is where you'll get your first sale. If you've gotten your first sale, maybe this is where you can find your first, I mean, one sale a day, week, or something like that. Remember, baby steps. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and show this screenshot over here. So this is pretty amazing. We see a 3% conversion rate. That's pretty great for Shopify. If you've ever sold physical products before, this is actually a pretty great conversion rate. And as you can see, guys, print on demand is not limited to to Q4. Okay, so that's very important to notice because I see so many people that kind of disappear for the entire year and they just come back in Q4 and test some products. But here, Rudvik is proving to us that you can have sales, all year round. Even if there's one thing mentality wise, Rudvik, that I don't know if you agree with me, but it's very important for this to be a sustainable business. You need to accept the fact that you're not going to have, big sales every single day of the year. You're not going to have big sales every month of the year. But even if you're not exactly inside holiday, you can still be profitable. You can still make sales. You can still build your email list. You can still make sales from SEO. Even with ads, even if you're not spending, thousands a day, you can still make some sales around here. So congratulations about these results
Yeah,
over here. It's very inspiring, Ludwig. I'm really excited to see you,
thank you.
just maintain this success. And what are your thoughts, just right now when we're going into Mother's Day? I mean, are you just 100% focused on your task? Are you already thinking ahead? Are you already kind of planning out what you're gonna do when we like to call this when Mother's Day ends, we kind of get into like a summer lull. So have you thought about this? And if so, what's kind of your plan going forward?
Yeah, uh, I currently I'm prioritizing more on the Mother's Day angle for my products. But yes, to answer your question, I'm focusing beyond Mother's Day right now. How I'm doing it, like you have to see what are the next trends after Mother's Day. It's all about the trends. So what are the trends? Uh, Graduation. Graduation and Mother's Day, they go together. Graduation trends till the end of, I think, June. So you can take that trend and make something work. Like if you find some good success, decent success in Mother's Day, in, let's say, in daughter niche, for example, or a grand any like son niche, or okay, son niche will not be applicable here. Let's say daughter niche, you can apply that same product and change angle a little bit to graduation, and you can scale at the end of June. There is another trend, Father's Day, after Mother's Day. So you can focus on Father's Day, not just for dads. You can start testing for sons, because you're hitting two targets with one stone. How you are setting two sons for Father's Day, and you are doing graduation sales as well, side by side. So you can take advantage of both these trends together for Father's Day and graduation. Same goes for Mother's Day and graduation. Another is like anniversaries, wedding season. That is huge with the Rose product. The Rose product that ShineOn launch right now, that's going to be a huge potential for that anniversary wedding season. So you answer your question, yeah. I'm currently focusing more on Mother's Day, but yes, I'm creating more creatives, more products for graduation right now, and for Father's Day.
Perfect. So listen up, guys. I mean, Mother's Day is about to end, but like Rudy mentioned, the graduation niche is huge, and he's 100% right about that. I think we have people that are even right now testing products in that niche, even considering the fact that Mother's Day is not even over, and we already have people testing products for graduation. Father's Day, I completely forgot about that. You're right, but there's some people that kind of hit it big with Father's Day, so there's usually always something to focus on. I mean, and there's evergreen niches that you can target, like Rutik mentioned, anniversaries, stuff like that. So this is a year-round hustle. Okay, like I said, just remember to to practice the correct mentality. I would say to not expect to be at the peak of your sales year round, but there's always something you can look forward to, and there's always something you can improve in the meantime.
Yeah, yeah. And I wanted to
Perfect.
share one
Go ahead.
one more thing is like when you are starting out, don't focus on too many products. Like ShineOn has a huge catalog right now, right? You don't have to
Yeah,
test every product, man. Like stick to just forever love and love not, and test your cards, your message cards. Oh, and in graduation time, you can even test with acrylics and the leather notebook, right? So they have just introduced the upsell for the gift wrap for notebook. So for graduation, notebook is a really a good choice to test, along with like one two necklaces like forever love, love not. Just stick to that. Like don't divert your focus to multiple products. Okay, so I just wanted to add that point.
perfect. Thanks, Ludwig. Yeah, and also there's kind of a related subject I wanted to get into. We kind of you answered some of these questions last time, but I think it's just as important to ask a few of these again today. And these are regarding your kind of your testing process with Facebook ads. Would you say, I mean, would you say that your testing process has changed, like from a technical perspective? And what I mean by this is that I remember last time you mentioned that you stuck with just it was essentially one main campaign, right? So you had one main campaign, which is the driver of most of your sales, and you just let it run. And if you saw success, you started increasing, like 20% every few days. I remember you mentioned. Is that still working the same for you? Is or have things shifted around? Is what I wanted to know is that if are you maybe using Advantage Plus at full scale or not? Are you avoiding it? Have you seen, your CBOs be as effective as they were before, or are you starting to use ABOs? Those sort of questions. I mean, I think our viewers really like to
Yeah.
just dive into the weeds. So let me know what you think about that.
Uh, sure. For me, I am keeping things simple, just as before. So I'm just running CBOs as I was doing before. For testing, I just have like one CBO, and for scaling, I just scale that CBO if it works. But along with that, you have to continuously be testing more creatives. For that, I am currently using ABO approach. I just create ABO campaign and have my creatives there, and I test them one by one. And if I saw a potential creative, I take that creative. Like if I saw like two potential creatives there, I take those two creatives, I create a new CBO campaign, and I add those two creatives there. I close them from the ABO, and I create a new CBO for that. This one creative ABO campaign will be will be for your testing, specially only for testing. For scaling, I like to use CBOs. I think it keeps your account clean, and you can really scale high with CBOs. Um, I don't even use any targeting even right now. I just do open targeting because I think Facebook's AI is so good, so good. Uh, I just have like one ad set there, even in testing and scaling. I just have one ad set, and I have a bunch of creatives in that particular ad set. So I like to keep things simple there. I just focus on more creatives and my product and creatives. Those two things, they gonna drive the success. Yeah, you can do bid caps, you can do cost caps, uh, and you can see what works good for your ad account. Like like the things that are working for my ad account. Let's say my ad account cost caps are working really good, but it doesn't mean it will work same on your ad account, because each ad account is different. You have to test if bid cap is working good for you, is cost cap is working good for you, ABO working for you, CBO working for you. You have to see that for yourself. But I personally like to keep things simple. I just choose one CBO, one ad set, and I introduce creatives there, and I test creatives in another campaign. have an engagement campaign there for at a low budget to support the engagement on my pinning ads. So I'm just using that funnel and doing okay. Yeah, it's working. It's working.
Yeah, I would say so. And no, it's funny that you use that method of using, having alternate campaigns to kind of push the engagement.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember that was very popular back in the day, and that people kind of stopped doing it, and
yeah.
maybe it's kind of getting popular again. But really, really excited to see that. So you mostly stay away from like the fully automated Advantage Plus method that Facebook offers. You don't really use that.
For some reason, it doesn't work for my ad account. I don't know why. Many times I tried to test it and scale with it, but it just doesn't work for my ad account. It can work for your ad account. You have to test it, uh, but for me, it is not working. So you have to see what's working for your ad account, and just double down on it. People, they try to, they think there is some secret method, but there is not like this secret method. You have to focus on your product and your creatives and keep things really simple. Double down on what's working for you. If ABO is working for you, double down on it. If CABO is working for on you, double down on it. That's exactly what scaling is: increasing your budget and optimizing with better creatives and better funnels. It all works together. It's like a machine. If one bearing fails, the whole machine stops. If your upsell funnel is not good, the machine will not work. If your creatives are not good, the machine will not work. So you have to first, the first aim should be to get a potential product. So once you get the potential product, then you start optimizing and creating that whole machine: upsells, creatives, everything, testing, different design elements. Once you get that machine running, you just have to oil it up, and yeah, like optimize it continuously. Things become simpler once you start scaling.
Great, that's great advice, Ludwig, and I think you probably agree with me here, but Facebook's algorithm has gotten so advanced that right now it's maybe less important to be an absolute expert, with cost caps, speed caps, audiences, because Facebook is their algorithm is very advanced and automated. So I
Yeah,
think you no longer need to have like very, detailed or media buyer skills. I mean, if you just give Facebook money, they will do their best, to get you some results. So it's important to not get lost in the details over here. Like you said, I mean, the product and the creatives are, they're king.
yeah,
So it's very important to not to, get carried away by the tiny details. But it's also, it's exciting to me to I always like to talk about Facebook strategy because like you said, it's so different for every single person.
yeah,
I mean, I've seen people that they still use, I mean, the very low budget, methods. I've seen people that do find success with Advantage Plus, like I just mentioned. That is why I wanted to ask you, because I have seen people that find success with that. And
hmm,
actually, I think, Ludwig, that eventually, I think that Facebook wants to remove like every audience targeting
yeah,
option, and they want to force everyone to use Advantage Plus. So I
yeah,
wonder if that's coming soon or not. But it's going to be interesting to see how your campaigns react to that.
yeah, yeah,
Just wanted to quickly mention, I see it's just one comment that is questioning your results. So I just wanted to stand by Ludwig. I mean, we have seen his results in the backend in ShineOn, so we can verify that they are 100% legit. So just for everyone that's questioning that, he is a real he's a real one for us. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Perfect. Let's see what other questions we have over here. This one's very important, Ludwig. Have you ever had to scale down a campaign? Because when we try to scale, I mean, it's very common to we try to push the pedal to the metal, And very quickly, a campaign can turn to break even or even to lose money. So how do you identify that? And if so, how do you scale down?
Okay, that's a really good question actually, and really really important, because I have faced that time to time. What I have noticed is like you don't have to you don't have to optimize it every day. Okay, if you are running ads and if you are having a bad day, you don't just lower the budgets on that day. You let it run for 3 days more, and if it is not performing for you for those 3 days, for next 2 days, more 2 days, then you start taking action on that particular campaign. So what you're gonna do is like you're gonna decrease the budget of that particular campaign by 20 to 30%. Okay, so I did that, and I did that multiple times on my campaigns that were not performing for me. And once I did that, I decreased the budget by 20%. It will it will start giving you better results. It will start giving you better results. Uh, like if when you are scaling down, let it run for 3 more days. You have to be patient with that. Okay, so when you are upping the budget or lowering the budget, you have to be patient. You have to let it run for 2 to 3 days. So let's say performance is not good, down your budget by 20%, let it run for 3 more days. If it's not good, lower it down again by 30%. And if it's working good on, let's say, that particular budget, you introduced more creatives in your funnel, in your, not your funnel, sorry, your ad account, because it might be the reason the campaign is selling. It might be because the creative, people saw that creative too many times, right?
Mhm.
So you have to keep on introducing new creatives in your campaigns. So creatives, that's why I say initially the product is the king, but after a while, scaling depends completely on the creatives, how much you are testing, right? And to give a practical look, you have to test a lot. Like out of 20 creatives you test, you might find creatives, 2 to 3 winning creatives. So keep testing creatives and lower the budget on the campaigns that are not performing for you. The results will be stabilized after a while.
Perfect. So again, a few takeaways here. Don't be erratic when making these decisions. You need to be patient. And whenever you do make the decision to lower the budget, again, you need to give, Facebook or TikTok a while to adapt to these new results. And Ludwig, one specific question. Sometimes when you're introducing these new creatives, have you ever introduced them directly in a campaign that is active and making sales? Like, for example, if you have a CBO that's running and maybe it sees decreased results, have you introduced new creatives in that same campaign, same ad set, without duplicating it? I mean, just keeping adding, creatives while the campaign is active. Do you usually do that?
No, I have tried that, but what I've noticed is
Hmm.
like Facebook just keep on it just keeps spending on the creative that was getting the most spend before. It doesn't spend on the new creatives, unless the new creatives have a significant spend before on on them. So you have to test it in a different campaign. You have to get it to a certain spend, and once you are at a significant spend on that particular creative, uh, you can then add it, inject it into the original campaign. Then you will see that yes, Facebook is now spending on that one as well. So the algorithm, it doesn't spend on the new creatives in a CBO where the original creative is there. So always test it into a new CBO. That's
Interesting. So,
how I
so
do
you test it into a new CBO,
it.
and once it gets traction, you do inject it into the original campaign.
Yeah, yeah,
Very interesting. I think I mean, a lot of people wonder like those specific scenarios. So I really want to
yeah,
kind of dive into the weeds with you there.
yeah.
Perfect. So, Ludwig, one final question, just for our beginners here. What do you think every beginner underestimates about the print on demand business?
Okay. Underestimates. Can you explain like little bit? Uh,
Like, what do you think is like the biggest misconception when starting your print on demand business? I
okay.
mean,
Okay. Gotcha.
exactly.
Gotcha. The biggest misconception is like they think uh, they have to create everything on their own. They have to be artists, so they start creating their own phrases, their own design elements, everything they create with AI and everything. uh, but you are not creating products just you are not creating products based on data. You are just creating on your hunch. So they have this misconception that yo, I'm gonna I'm gonna create my own design, own phrase and everything, and I'm gonna test it, and I'm gonna own that particular design, and I'm gonna scale it within. I'm gonna test like 5 to 10 tests, and I'm gonna scale within those 5 to 10 tests. That's not how it's gonna work. You have to test a lot, and you have to test based on data, because success leaves clues, right? So like study other brands, see what's working for them, what type of phrases are working for them, what has worked in the past. Then you can mix match a little bit your creativity, but don't just focus creating like complete like don't have this misconception that I'm gonna create everything on my own, my original, everything original, and then it's gonna work within like 5 tests. That's not how it's gonna work. You have to go walk on the data, right? You have to walk on the data path. Yeah, and have like practical approach to this thing, because it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not uh, impossible, but it's definitely not easy. You have to test a lot, and you have to it's like you have to train your mind. You have to absorb the learning first. And there is this misconception that, oh, I don't want to learn, I know everything. So once you say that, once you think like that, you're automatically not gonna win this thing, because you have to keep learning. I learn every day. I'm not expert. I'm not an expert. I keep on learning every day. I have failed tests as well. So just keep that thing in mind. You have to keep on learning. It's not a get rich quick scheme. You will not win, like, unless you test a lot of things. So get ready for that. Like, don't just stop within
Perfect.
like 5 to 10 tests and say ShineOn doesn't work. Thank you.
Exactly. Awesome, man. So yeah, like you heard him. I mean, you need to have a data-driven approach. I mean, make decisions based on data. You need to be resilient. Just keep testing, and don't give up. Like he said, this is not easy. It's not an easy business. I mean, it's not a get rich quick scheme, but just keep going at it. He's done it for years. He did it for years without results. So that's what you should aspire to one day, achieve your goals in the print on demand space. And yeah, thanks so much for this interview, Rudvik. I think it was, tremendously filled with value. And here at Shannon, we're glad to see you, just keep succeeding. And we hope this that Rudvik's story serves as inspiration and as motivation to everyone that's watching, that you can someday achieve similar results. So thanks for
Thank you.
hopping on here today, Rudvik. This was
Thank you.
great.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Thank you. Yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you guys.
Thanks so
Thank you.
much. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us today.